Close your eyes and imagine you're standing on solid ground. But within seconds, your bones are crushed, your lungs collapse, and your skin melts away. The sky above isn't blue, it's thick yellow poison. And the ground beneath you, it's 900 degrees, hot enough to melt lead. There's no air to breathe, only death to inhale. Welcome to Venus, the most dangerous planet in our solar system. A planet so violent, it destroys anything that dares to touch it. This isn't just a planet, it's a graveyard. Have you ever imagined a world so terrifying, so inhospitable, that it could melt metal in seconds, crush steel like paper, and choke out life before it could even begin? A place where the air itself is poison and the sky rains acid, not in your nightmares, but right next door to us in the cosmos. That world is real. It's called Venus. Venus, often mistaken for Earth's twin, is a planet nearly the same size, mass, and composition as our own. Long ago, before we truly understood what lay beneath its clouded sky, scientists believed Venus could be a paradise. Maybe it had oceans, warm rains, perhaps even primitive life. The thick white clouds that enshrouded the planet looked like those that hover above Earth's tropics. Dreams of sister worlds danced in the minds of astronomers. But when our eyes finally pierced through the mist with radar and probes, the truth was far from paradise. It was a vision of hell. On the surface of Venus, temperatures soar to a mind-melting 475 degrees Celsius, over 880 degrees Fahrenheit. Is hotter than Mercury, the closest planet to the Sun, despite being further away. Why? Because Venus is a prisoner of its own atmosphere. A blanket of thick carbon dioxide wraps the planet, trapping heat with ruthless efficiency. Even at night, the inferno doesn't fade. There is no escape. The ground is a tortured wasteland, volcanic plains, jagged rocks, and twisted channels of ancient lava. The pressure? Over 90 times greater than Earth's. It's like standing a kilometer beneath the ocean. If you set foot on Venus, you wouldn't die slowly. You would be flattened in an instant. No spacesuit could save you. Your bones would shatter before you even realized you were dying. And then there's the air. Breathing? Not an option. Not just because there's no oxygen, but because the atmosphere is a toxic brew of carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide. The clouds? They're made of sulfuric acid. Above, hurricane force winds howl at over 300 kilometers per hour. Below, near the ground, everything is still, silent, dead. It even rains acid, but not in the way you'd expect. Droplets fall from the sky, but never reach. The heat is so extreme, the acid evaporates mid-air, turning to gas and rising again. A never-ending cycle of toxic steam. In the 1960s and 70s, the Soviet Union launched the Venera missions, bold attempts to land on Venus. Most failed. The atmosphere crushed them. The heat melted their circuits. But a few survived. Venera 7 became the first spacecraft to land on another planet and transmit data. It lasted 23 minutes. Then the heat devoured it. Venera 13 sent back the first color photographs of Venus, ghostly images of cracked, scorched terrain. It recorded the only audio of per minute ever captured from the surface. A low hum. A distant mechanical hiss. Then, silence. Imagine being there. A land where metal melts like wax, where pressure turns lungs inside out, where even machines scream and die. No human will ever walk on Venus without protection far beyond what we've used on the Moon or Mars. Venus doesn't just kill, it resents life. It's not just deadly, it's hostile. But the real horror of Venus isn't just what it is. it's what it used to be. Scientists now believe that billions of years ago, Venus may have had oceans, rain, clouds, a climate not so different from Earth's, but it was closer to the sun. Heat built up. The oceans began to evaporate. Water vapor, a powerful greenhouse gas, filled the sky and trapped more heat. The surface boiled. The water disappeared, and it never stopped. A runaway greenhouse effect turned a once blue world into a furnace. That is the nightmare of Venus. It's not just a warning, it's a reflection. A burning mirror held up to Earth. It shows us what can happen when balance is lost, when heat overtakes harmony, when the sky turns against the land. Even today, scientists ask, could life still exist there? Not on the surface, that's impossible. But high above, 50 kilometers up, the air is milder. Temperatures are calm. Pressure is close to Earth's. Some wonder if microbes could survive there, floating, feeding, multiplying in clouds of acid. In 2020, scientists detected phosphine, a possible chemical signature of life. It wasn't proof, but it was a mystery. Venus is a planet of questions, of terror and beauty, hidden behind its violence. To the naked eye, it glows in our sky, the morning star, the evening star, a symbol of light. But behind that glow lies death. It is a death world in every sense. The ground burns, the sky kills, the pressure crushes, the past haunts. Venus is a reminder that paradise can become punishment. And while we dream of Mars, while we imagine new homes across the stars, the real monster waits closer than we think, watching, burning, whispering. Some worlds are not meant to be touched. Venus is no myth. Venus is hell in space, a blazing tomb that whispers our future if we ever dare to forget the cost of a dying world.